Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And one of my ways today is I have been grading my roads today. Since we had the rains, it keeps the dust down by grading them while the soil is damp and wet. So I let it get to a point where it's no longer muddy. And now I can go through and do the grading. Well, I've already run a few passes with the scraper, which cuts all the ridges down and gives me a fairly smooth surface, except it leaves berms like that one running right down the center there. Now I just came from that direction, and that's the direction I came is on that edge. So now I'm going to go right up the center here and take that ridge out, because now I'm using the finish grader, which kind of smooths everything out and just leaves me with a nice surface. But before I do that, I've got a piece of metal I noticed in the road that I apparently picked up with the cutter, and I don't want to leave that there where me or somebody else hits it and gets a flat tire. So whatever that piece of metal is, I don't know, but this is my property over here too, and I'm going to be coming back for that can, so I'll just put that right there by the can. All right, so we're back in the saddle again, and here we go. First gear, and make sure there's no traffic coming up and down the main road, and we come right across like this, and we're going to take this cut right here out of the center. And then I'm going to switch to the left side of the road, and I came down that side, so I'm going back up this side, and this will do the final cut. Of course, there's Flash. He's the outcast dog. He's a good little dog, but he doesn't get along with the others, and they won't, Doggy Daddy won't let him back on the property. So he lives in a little house I made for him on this side of the road, which is actually somebody else's property. But because he's a abandoned dog like all the others, doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve a house to get in the inclement weather, and food to eat. So every day when I feed the others, while they're eating, I'll get on my little trike and ride down the road here, and he has his own little bowls, a water bowl and a food bowl, right next to that little house right there, and he climbs in and eats his food, and then later on he'll get inside to stay warm. It was cold this morning, just above freezing, 34 degrees when I got up, and my little electric heater is running all night long, and my batteries were a little on the low side this morning when I got up, but that was expected because we didn't have any sun yesterday, and these fake rain clouds right here are irritating because they don't bring rain, but they sure as heck block the sun when there's a whole open sky over there they could go to, and an open sky over here. But no, they gotta block my sun off my solar panels. How do you like that? I just can't understand it. But anyway, here's Doggy Daddy coming over to visit right now. Hope the picture's not getting too dark for you. But yeah, this is the final pass. So I'm going to be going right up the center here to where I dropped this thing off. and then I'll unload it and call it a day. It's a day. No, not Doris. All right, so my last little cleanup run right here, and I'll be coming around the corner. You'll see the scraper that I used, and I'm going to sneeze because the sun just got me. Excuse me. So yeah, there's the scraper. You can see where I dragged it right in there, and this will go right on the other side of it. So I've got to make sure that I don't catch on to it in the mirror. And there, that's good enough. Now I'll back up a hair so the chains are not too tight. There we go. And we'll head on out here. Okay, so when the chain is hooked up on the van for the scraper, the middle of the chain is hooked into these two sections where the roller was for the, this was a treadmill. And I welded the plates on it and the angle iron to be cutters to help cut the road down nice and smooth. Okay, so this is just an old bed spring that I found in the desert, and I reverse the chain and I just wrap it around my trailer hitch and hook it at the bottom. You got to hook it at the bottom of the mattress, because if you hook it at the top, it pulls down on the front, and then it grabs a hold of dirt, and then it wants to roll under, and you'll end up losing your cutter. The board on there is just enough weight for it to do a nice cleanup job, as you can see. It's kind of like a fine grading. I could have probably gone around one more time and come up that center right there, but I'll do that with a rake, no big deal. It's just a little bit. Everything else is done. So that's how the roads get cleaned out here in the desert. Any questions and comments, leave them down below. I'm happy to help you out with that. And if you want to see more detail on the how I built the rack and how I do the spring, let me know. I'll be glad to show you. And this old wheelbarrow, this two-wheel wheelbarrow, I never liked it. And I'm thinking I was going to use the rims from this and the axle to make a rolling gate for my main gate coming in, instead of using a cable across the road, because the cable gets tangled up all the time. It'd be easier just to grab a bar and give it a push and slide it open. And I was looking at these square handles, and I thought to myself, you know what? I can make myself a T-post puller out of those things. So that's what's going to happen there. I'll take this whole thing apart. I'll put the scrap metal in the brackets in my scrap metal pile. I'll put the wheels and the axle in the wheels and axle pile. And then I'll take these two bars here and I'll make myself a nice T-post puller. Cool. Because the one I had before to get the T-post that I found out in the desert, that belongs to my neighbor, and I had to give it back. So that's it. You guys found some bones, huh? And you're sharing? That's two good dogs. That's two good dogs sharing a bone. Yeah. Did your buddy say, I got a bone to pick with you? All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is G Bear signing off.